Before we move forward with the rest of this video, if you're interested in using the same platform and broker that Mitch and I use, TradeNet actually currently has a sale where you can get their base package, the intro package, for only $379. And to put that into perspective, it comes with a funded account with $14,000 in buying power to trade with. It's very similar to a prop firm, but there's also no PDT rules, so you can day trade as much as you want. It comes with a trading course and access to a trading chat room, like I said, for less than $400 at $379. For new traders, I think it's a great way to spend less when they first get started and ultimately risk less. And if you're interested in checking that out and helping support our channel, I'll include a link in the description for you to go check out. So thanks for watching and enjoy this video. Okay, so I actually just got back in IQ. The reason I got into IQ is because it put in that really obvious self-evident high like I talked about yesterday. You can see it up there at 1912, and so I can risk off of that level all day. And then I'm really looking to get a bigger breakdown here, and I'm really confident in this setup, and so I'm going to go for it a little bit with this setup just because this is one of those setups that I attack every single day. And just like yesterday, I'm super confident in this one. And so we'll see which way it goes. I honestly want to see it bounce back up to the whole dollar so I can add a little bit more shares to this one, but at this point I'm up. I'm only in with 200 shares and my entry is 1898, and so we'll see what happens. I'll keep updating you. Okay, so I'm actually going to add a little bit more to this one even though it hasn't moved up a little bit, because again, I'm super confident in this setup and I really think it's going to drop down to around 1880 or so. That's my goal, to take profits, and I do want to get into a little bit larger share size before it actually makes that move back down. It's still got a little bit of a ways to go, and again, I'll add on any subsequent bounces. There's 97, and so I'll try to add a little bit more to this one there. And so I just added another 100, and again, I'll slowly scale into this one. I don't mind getting in up to around 700 shares for this one. Again, I'm risking off of that 1912 level right here. Whenever a stock puts in a really obvious self-evident high, I can really attack that range that it's formed. And so just to draw out that range so you see what range I'm talking about this range right here. So it's between that previous high and the low of the day. And so this range right here is what I'm really attacking, and I'm just looking to scale into it around the top of the range and then slowly scale out of it and cover and take profits as it moves back down to the bottom of that range, if that makes sense. And so I'll keep updating you all on how this goes. And again, I actually want to see a bounce back up to the whole dollar and maybe up to the VWAP at 1904, because at that point I can actually add some sizing back to it. I want to add some sizing back to this one, and so I really want to see it bounce up to 19. If it doesn't bounce up there and I can still kind of take profits along the way, that's fine, but I do want to add a little bit larger share sizes to this one because I'm super confident in this specific setup. It's the same setup I attacked in yesterday's video after the stream, and these are setups that I'm slowly becoming more and more comfortable with and attacking more often, being really comfortable when I use them. Okay, so we've dropped down to 1892. Like I said, I really actually want to see a bounce back up to test that $19 level. I think my risk level is still really obvious at this previous high up here at 1912s or so, 1913s. And so what I really want to do is I really want to see a bounce so I can scale into this one a little bit more and take some bigger sizing to take a larger swing. I'm really confident in this setup. The risk is pretty tight and very self-evident, and so I can just look for it to come back down to these 1880s. But again, I'd preferably like to see a bounce back up to the $19 level, or maybe up to the VWAP at 1903, so I can add some more sizing to this position. Alright, so there's 84s. I guess at this point I've got to take some off, and so I'm going to cover half of my position here at 84, and I'm still holding 200 shares. Like I said, the goal for this one though is I want to add back to it if it bounces up to the 1890s. We'll try to give it some time. and we'll see if we can, get a much larger win from this one is what I'm kind of looking for. We'll see. Super confident in this setup, obviously, and yeah, we'll see if we could actually get that low of the day break as well. I'll consider that and take that. We're down to 83s and 84s, and so we still have some time. And again, I really don't mind adding back on any subsequent bounces back up to the 1890s, and so we'll see what happens. All right, so we are getting a bounce up to about up to 89s, and so I'm going to go ahead and add another 100 shares back to this one on this bounce, and just like I said, look to scale into it up to the 1890s. That's my plan with this one. I'm definitely up a decent amount on the day still, and I still have an unrealized gain of around $17, and so I really don't mind that. Sizing is 300 shares at this point, and again, I'm looking to add back and then take some off right around this low again, and then if it breaks this low, then I can really try to get a larger gain, and that's what I'm shooting for here. Okay, so now that we do have that move back up to 95, I can add a little bit more to this position, and that's kind of what I'm shooting for here. Again, I don't mind scaling up to 94, or scaling up to the whole dollar of 19. And so we'll see if we can get that move back down to 1880s, and I can kind of slowly scale out of it back on the way down. Again, I'm super confident in these setups. I think it's at least going to drop some, allowing me to take some profits along the way on the way down. And so we'll see what happens. All right, so we're still kind of consolidating around the bottom of this range at around 95, 96, and so we'll see if we can get the subsequent move back below this 95 level. I think there's a lot of support here, and so we really want to see this level break. We want to see 95 break down underneath that, and then, like I said, slowly kind of move back down to the 1880s is what we really want to see. Still kind of so-so. I've already taken profits in this trade once already, and so I'm still up from where I was before this trade, and so I'm just trying to be patient with it and really, watch the chart, allow it to work, get down under those 1895 levels like it's doing now. So we'll see. Also, so we're down to 94. I think if it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce right here. Of course, we want to see the breakdown, and I'll probably take profits, at least take some of it off if it can get down to 1890 or so. But if it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce right here, and so I'm not going to be surprised to see that bounce. At this point, I'll probably use this level here at 1904 as my risk, and keep it relatively break even in this trade. If it squeezes up, I might be down 20 bucks in this trade, and that's okay relative to what I would have made if it worked out and the sizing that I'm using. And so I'm just going to continue to let you guys know. We'll see what happens. There's the bounce. Like I said, this is what I was kind of expecting. That's just what the chart was telling me, is that there may be a bounce right here. You have a lot of support there, and so we want to see that support break down, but we can't be surprised at the bounce where that support is. And so we're going to keep watching this one. All right, so there's the move down to 93. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more off here. I just took 300 shares off at 93. I'm slowly building up profit on the day, and now I have 500 shares. At this point, the reason I took that 300 off is because I think I scaled into it a little bit too much here. I still like this breakdown, and we're going to look for the 1880 test with these last 500 shares. Okay, so we're getting actually a lot of confirmation here at the 1890 level. I'm thinking about taking another 200 off and then being a lot more comfortable in this trade, really banking some profits and taking 200 off. And so I'll probably go ahead and do that here. And so I just took another 200 off, and now with the last little bit, I'm just going to let this work, set a stop loss, and update you guys on the final result of this one. Like I said, I've scaled out of most of this one already. Made about $40 on this trade so far. The ideal situation here, just so you guys can kind of see what I'm really shooting for, is this move back down to the low of the day down here at 1880. This is the move I want to see. I want to see it retrace and come back down to the bottom of this range, down here, at least down to 1882. I'm holding 300 shares left, and so again, I could set a stop loss here at break even at probably just over the whole dollar. So no matter what, I'm not going to lose money on this trade. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm just going to set a stop loss and update you all on the final process. I'll probably let the recording go and maybe fast forward it while I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for this thing to come back down to the bottom of the range, and then just try to keep track of it as it happens. All right, so we're down to 1886, and exactly what I wanted to happen happened with this trade. It followed through with the range, and I hope you can understand the range that I'm really attacking with this move. If we can get down to 1880, which was my original main profit target, then I'll probably take another 100 shares off and then let the last 100 work in case it does actually break down a little bit farther under that previous low of the day. And so that's what I'm looking at right now, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to take that 100 off here. Only holding 100 shares left, have effectively scaled out of this one enough to, bank some decent profits from it. I still think it could even break this low of the day. But now that I've scaled out as it retraced back to the bottom of the range where that previous low of the day is, I can really just kind of, be happy with this trade. I'm only down on the day, let's see. I'm only down on the day around 20 bucks after being down almost 100, over $90. I'm only down 20 bucks on the day. Definitely a nice little rebound trade. You can see I've made about 56 bucks on this trade so far. Not a bad little trade. Maybe scaled in with a little bit too big of sizing, but I'll take the trade. My accuracy after the stream ends with these range bound plays have been going up, and I think I'm really starting to find my own with this type of strategy. Okay, so I ended up holding this one and it eventually bounced back to the 1885 level, and so I got out and I ended the day down around 25 bucks, but I made a really nice $50 gain on this trade. And I know I still ended the day down, and I'm really not trying to brag with this video or anything like that because losing days do happen. I'm just trying to show you how I've been attacking the range in between the VWAP and the low of the day a lot lately, and it's been extremely reliable. If you look back to the beginning of the video, I said I was really targeting that 1880 level, and if you watch the chart for this stock IQ, you can see that's exactly where it pivots down to by the end of the day. And so I think it makes a lot of sense if you understand this range bound strategy. And if you want to learn more about this, just watch our live streams, because we do day trade live on stream every weekday morning starting at 8 o'clock market time. And so hit that subscribe button. If you click the bell next to that, it will alert you every time we do go live if you want to follow along with us. And if you want to help support the channel, you can click the like button as well. Good luck in the markets, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning.